All right, I have some sweet, sweet words for you today. Now, I may be the overlord, but there is a higher power. And in the beginning, he said there were no taxes. He didn't even have to say it, because there were no taxes. It was amazing. Unfortunately, people are not so great, and they're very ungrateful. I don't know about you, but if I had no taxes, I'd be incredibly grateful. But maybe that's because I suffered under taxes for so long. And boy, oh boy, have I suffered having to pay taxes. I've paid more in taxes than a lot of people have made in their entire life. And you know what? I'm kind of thinking about starting a revolution over it. Don't tell anyone. People were wondering, hey, are taxes ethical? Are taxes okay? Taxes are theft, right? Well, let's consult what the Bible has to say. Not trying to get super religious in here, but, if I don't know the perfect answer to something, I tend to look it up. And I can't find any better books than the old good book, the Bible. All right, so let's see what they have to say. Well, I consulted it, and I found in 1 Samuel, a little curse is placed upon mankind. We were ungrateful, and we were given our first king. All right? And this first king, man, Saul, well, he was given some privileges, or some curses on the rest of society, depending on how you look at it. He was allowed to take 10%. Now, 10% you say of what? Of everything. He gets 10%. It's like 10% for the big guy, only even more corrupt feeling. He gets 10% of your money, 10% of your land, 10% of your cattle, 10% of your kids. He gets 10% of everything that's yours. That's what God said a sovereign, a king, the leader takes. Personally, I don't like it, but 10% I can accept. It is the absolute maximum I can accept. But I can't accept 10. After all, hopefully if we round down, that means I have to have 10 kids before he gets one. I don't like paying 10%, but, I'll pay my tithes. I'll do that happily, but God's actually good. What good things have the government done for you lately? You could probably name me one or two. Now, how many bad things have they done? I don't know about you, but I really don't like paying for things that are bad for me, that abuse me. I don't like paying a thief to abuse me. I don't know, maybe some of you are into that. That's not my thing, though. I prefer people who are a little bit nicer, a little bit better. I'm more of a dairy kind of guy as opposed to one of them, steal from me, pilfage me, and take my stuff kind of people. I just, it's not my thing. But yeah, so God said the sovereign has a right to 10%. Huh, what an extreme privilege that is. And they get to abuse it. Now, do they actually get to abuse it? No, they're supposed to use it for good, productive things, for helping the community. To show the folly of their lack of wisdom, probably. I don't know. That's just me suggesting something, perhaps. Perhaps it's off kilter. But look, 10% is an annoyance. It's a pain. But it's manageable. Your life is not going to fundamentally change if someone's getting 10%. It's going to be not as good. It could be better. But it's not going to fundamentally change your life's trajectory. Probably. I mean, 10% compounded over time is a pretty good return, but let's not get into that, shall we? The problem is, they're not taking 10%. They're not taking 20%. They're not even taking 30%. Yeah, some of us out there, those people that you say are the rich, let's eat the rich. Oh, please don't eat me. Trust me. I would not taste good, okay? I'm too fatty. I'm too muscly. It's just not the right balance for you. And who knows? Maybe I got my crazy afro up in here and you wouldn't like that, or, whatever. I mean, I hear my beard is delicious, but I hope they're not meaning actually eating it. I think they just mean in a silky smooth way. I don't know. I really don't want to find out now. But please don't eat me, okay? I'm not that rich. I don't even have $1 billion yet, okay? We're still working on it. Hopefully soon. Got to get a few more DDs out there. Anyway. But look, 10%, you're a godly nation. You suck. You're taking 10% of my stuff. But okay, God said you get 10%. I'm going to give you 10%. Uncle Sam, though, he's taking way too much. He's taking almost half of my stuff. Now you say, whoa, half. The federal tax rate isn't half. What's going on here? Well, yeah, the federal income tax is not half. But you know what? You don't just have a federal income tax. That does get way too high, though. I think that should be brought down immensely. But some places also have state taxes. I highly recommend you go to a state that does not have a state tax. There are several good ones that come to mind, but, I don't want to tell some of you suffering in the really high tax places to come here because, honestly, if you're dumb enough to live in a place that's taxing you 10 or 14% or even 5% or any amount, I'm not sure you need to come infect our place with your ideas because you ultimately voted for that at some point. So please don't come ruin our good places. But anyway, so you got your federal taxes. You got your state taxes if you're not smart enough to go somewhere else, okay? You also got your local taxes. You got your sales taxes. Oh, my. You've got your tariffs, which are just another word for taxes, import taxes, okay? We give them a fancy name, tariffs. Yeah, you're paying for that, guys, okay? Sometimes they're justified. Sometimes they're useful for wars or various other things. But you're paying for it. It's a tax. Get used to it. There's a sliced bagel tax. Okay? Every sliced bagel you see, there's a tax for that. You ever been on an airplane? Yeah, guess what? Part of the reason they cost so much, and granted they have gotten cheaper over time, efficiencies in the market have been fantastic, but most of your ticket, if you got a really, really cheap ticket, is taxes. Almost $20 of your ticket is taxes, okay? They tax the airport for landing there. They tax the fuel. They tax everything. Everything that you interact with just about has an extra tax on top of it. So you're paying for the thing, you're paying tax on the thing, and you paid tax on the income that generated it, and maybe if you're in a bad state, you paid another tax on that. And if you're in New York, man, you paid another tax on top of that because you're dumb enough to live in a city with an income tax. What is wrong with you people? Ugh. No insult to you, but guys, have you considered maybe not getting taxed so hard? There are other ways. There are better ways. There are ways that are cheaper, ways that are more godly. Look, give the sovereign his due, but don't give it to him, and then give it to him, and give it to him, and give it to him, and give it to him. The government's taking more of your money than you take of your money. You are not a slave to your government. Or at least you shouldn't be. Don't be. Please don't be. Fight back. This is not acceptable. Stop having an abusive relationship with your government. Get out of it. Save yourself. Fight back. You have a vote. You have a voice. Try and make it be heard. I know it's hard. You get drowned out very easily. Oh. But guys, you owe 10%. Anything more than that is theft. We could actually calculate your theft ratio based on how much you pay in tax relative to how much you're supposed to make. Yeah, I have about a 40% theft ratio with my government. It is unacceptable. Ugh. Just something I had to get off my chest, people. How much is your theft ratio? Comment below. Let's find out. Let's compare. Let's get angry and try and fix the system together. Oh. If you need a way to help you increase your income so that you can increase your theft ratio, because who doesn't want to have the highest theft ratio, come on down to the Overlord Club. Let's see if we can find you a way to increase your theft ratio. And, maybe, just maybe, we might have a few tips on how to legally not pay too much more tax than you're supposed to. That's all for today. Enjoy getting robbed. Not that you have a choice. Have a good one.